It's arguably the most significant invention to come out of Jamaica in the last 2 decades. A medical doctor, a mechanical engineer, and a computer scientist used technology to develop a way to train heart surgeons across the globe more efficiently. The heart simulator developed at the UWI Mona is now being used by several universities across the world to train surgeons. Professor Daniel Kaur, who worked on the project, says after shelving the first prototype and moving on to other projects, he and the other inventors involved received a call that would change everything.
So in late 2007, we hear from Dr. Richard Fiennes, who was at the time chairman of the American Board of Thoracic Surgery. He had seen a video that had been released along with a paper that we had published. And in the video, we were just showing a small clip of what the heart looked like while, in operation, in use. And he wrote to Dr. Ramphal, basically did a little internet search, tried to find him, sort of located an email address for him at UWI, by which time he had already left UWI, and wrote him and said, I saw this video, is it real? Because if that's real, I'd love to come to UWI to see it, and would you be willing to set it up for us, because we are examining possible simulation environment scenarios for the cardiac surgery training, and this is something that we would like to sort of take a look at just to see what it can do and whether it's good for us.
After some persuasion, the team decided to go to the University of North Carolina to set up the prototype.
First time set up, right? So all these prominent heart surgeons had just come in to take a look at what's going on, and everybody was kind of blown away at just how realistic the heart beating was, and how realistic the whole environment was. So they took out the video footage and took that to their annual meeting that year at the Society of Thoracic Surgeons. And with that video at that meeting, just sort of, caught the eye of everybody who was at that symposium that year. And that ended up getting us invited to technology symposium for cardiothoracic surgery. And we got re-invited year after year.
Soon after that, the UWI Mona developed heart simulator was a sought-after tool when it came to training heart surgeons.
It then got to a point where other places wanted one. They kept saying, how can we get one of these at our institution? So it was kind of around that time, that was started around 2009, that we started talking about how to get multiple ones of these. And by around 2011, we'd actually built them. So in that interim, we had negotiations, sort of thought about how to sort of make it a little more structured and sort of help ourselves get to the point where we could be talking to people who might want a license.
The simulator then ended up in some of the top medical schools in North America, revolutionizing the way heart surgeons were being trained.
Harvard's Mass General Hospital, University of Rochester, there was a University of North Carolina, Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, Mayo Clinic, University of Washington, and Stanford.
This was the first time ever heart surgeons in training were being exposed to real-life circumstances.
Kind of what I mentioned before, where you might have the pig's heart in a bowl, or I suppose if you're working with a cadaver, which is going to be realistic, but it's a dead person, but nothing where the heart is, or actually a live pig. That is the closest that you could come if you wanted to get a full-blown operating room scenario where you are standing around, there's a apparently living, beating heart, and you have to give the right instructions, and you have somebody controlling a pump, somebody controlling anesthesia, and then you have your partner in front of you, you're supposed to be giving the right instructions, and you're learning not just the specific procedures, but also the management of your team. The only way you could really reconstruct that without having a real patient on the table was a live pig. That was the closest you could come. So what our simulator was providing these guys with was a context in which they could reconstruct any scenario they wanted, when they wanted, at the time they wanted. So from the purpose of teaching, if today's lesson was to teach you something that hardly ever happens, they could make sure it's scheduled what's going to happen, because you could set the simulator up to deliver that. So for them, that was a great opportunity to change how training in cardiac surgery could work, right? And at the same time, you're getting this high fidelity model, right? So you're not putting any patients at risk. You have this model that looks real. It bleeds when you cut it. It has a pressure. It shows you a computer trace that looks like it's a real trace on a monitor. So for all intents and purposes, just because you set it up, you know it's not real. But for all intents and purposes, it looks like a patient on the table.
The heart simulator has not only used technology to totally revolutionize the way heart surgeons are trained, but it is also helping to better equip surgeons to deal with real-life situations in real time.
There are some well-rehearsed procedures, as in over time, they've developed some procedures to respond to a particular kind of emergency. But if you as a resident only get trained via the operating room, then the only scenarios that you become familiar with are the ones that you see. Now, of course, if you see 100 cases, 200 cases, then they start thinking, okay, you're ready, you're competent, you can go, and you are now going to be certified as capable of practice on your own. But what if the scenario that we're worried about isn't one that occurs so frequently? It might be 1 in 1,000 cases, it might be 1 in 2,000 cases. Those are still potentially life-threatening. You still want somebody who is going to now become an attending to know how to deal with them. And in the old situation, before our simulator, the only way they would have really gotten that exposure is through a textbook or somebody telling them, you know, if you ever encounter this, this is what you're supposed to do. So it's kind of a hypothetical, and the response is really a kind of theoretical response, or it's a hypothetical one anyway. With a simulator, we can now say, okay, next week's lesson going to be how you deal with this. And I can tell you what you must do, and I can set up the simulator to make that emergency occur. So while you're doing your thing, you know, suddenly something happens and you say, what's going on? And it's for you to A, recognize that there's that emergency going on, and then B, act appropriately. So you can actually now practice that, which is not something that you could have done easier before.
The heart simulator is the first UE patent to be commercialized, and with the recent commitment from Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke to pump more government resources into research and development, it is hoped that more patented inventions coming out of the University of the West Indies can be commercialized.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
Welcome to Business Access Television's highlights package of the symbolic signing of Jamaica's Foreign Exchange Code of Conduct.
Governor Brian Winter, Senior Deputy Governor John Robinson, Deputy Governors Wayne Robinson, newly elected JBA President Mr. Jerome Smalling, President of the Cambia Association of Jamaica Heather Ferguson, Executive Director of the Jamaica Institute of Financial Services Darlene Jones, other distinguished guests, members of the press, good morning and welcome to Bank of Jamaica for the symbolic signing of the BIS FX Global Code by the respective presidents of the JBA and CAJ. The adoption of this code by the authorized dealers and large cambios is another significant step in the FX market reform process, which began back in July 2017. Since then, BOJ has implemented a series of reforms aimed at improving efficiency and transparency, to include the implementation of BFIXIT, that's the Bank of Jamaica Foreign Exchange Intervention Trading Tool, whereby the bank intervenes through select participants in the foreign exchange market via an auction process. Secondly, the implementation of FX net open position limits for authorized dealers and FX position limits for cambios to ensure soundness and efficiency in the foreign exchange markets and mitigate risk-taking by the players. Improving market intelligence through daily market chats and enhanced reporting requirements to include counterparty name and TRN for large value transactions. The establishment of a foreign exchange market development committee chaired by the governor, and this enables cross-fertilization of ideas of all players in the industry. And of course, getting the conversation started on FX hedging products, such as forwards. At this time, on behalf of the governor, I'd like to extend appreciation to the authorized dealers and cambios for your tremendous support in making the reforms thus far a success. Colleagues, there's more to come as we eagerly await the implementation of the foreign exchange trading platform in early 2020. So without further ado, I now turn over to our esteemed governor, Mr. Brian Winter, for his remarks.
Thank you, Natalie, and I would like to say a special welcome to everybody this morning. It's very good to see you all here for this extremely, I think, a long-awaited, a timely, and a very important step forward for Jamaica in its economic development by the foreign exchange market intermediaries in Jamaica. The Global Code provides a common set of guidelines to promote the integrity, the transparency, and the effective functioning of the foreign exchange market, which is a vital part of the global financial system and has a turnover of more than $5 trillion every single day. The adoption of the Global Code is one of the reforms to the foreign exchange market that we began in mid-2017, and it was aimed at enhancing the efficiency of the financial markets in Jamaica. That is how financial markets best serve the markets in goods and services, which is where Jamaicans will be employed and be able to grow their wealth, will be able to develop themselves, will be able to contribute to the building of Jamaica. The code the symbolic signing today by the representatives of by the respective presidents, I should say, of the Bankers Association and of the Cambio Association of Jamaica confirms that their members have signed the Global Code, indicating their commitment to its 6 leading areas of principle, namely ethics, governance, execution, information sharing, risk management and compliance, and the confirmation and settlement processes. This historic signing reflects our aims for Jamaica to have a robust, fair, liquid, open, and transparent market for foreign exchange. As Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, support an improvement in the public's faith in the foreign exchange market. And now that we are a part of the global code, this is a signal that Jamaica is open and ready for business. It's now incumbent on each foreign exchange dealer or cambio to follow through on their commitment to adopt the principles that Jamaica's foreign exchange market has signed up to. My expectation is that those who wish to compete in the foreign exchange market will be able to enjoy success once they follow the principles that we are here establishing today. I'd like to now welcome Ms. Darlene Jones, Executive Director of GIFS, who will speak to us on the importance of that institution in building capacity for intermediaries in implementing the code. Before I end my remarks, I just want to thank you all for coming as we remain committed to Jamaica becoming the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Thank you, everyone.
GIFS is extremely proud to be a part of today's momentous occasion, signifying the commitment to integrity and professional standards at the highest level. We feel that this is part of the evolution that the Minister of Finance spoke of at the recent symposium when he said that since we're operating in a market-driven FX market, it requires businesses and the financial institutions to evolve in order to exist. This is indeed a significant advancement in this process. As provider of internationally rated cutting-edge development opportunities for the financial services industry, our mandate is to ensure that the industry is supplied with a highly trained and agile cadre of talent to support industry growth. GIFS is therefore pleased to be a support of this milestone with the offering of the FX Global Code Certification Program, which is being offered in collaboration with the Global Association, ACI Financial Markets. This program will enhance our buoyant FX industry with a cadre of certified financial markets professionals qualified to execute at the highest level of efficacy. The program has been designed to ensure practical working knowledge, and I am emphasizing practical working knowledge, advocated by the principles of the code, with emphasis on the application of high standards of integrity, conduct, and professionalism, with the understanding of why adherence to the market participants to the code is important. We had a first sitting of certification exams in June, and we're now recruiting for the second cohort, which commences in September. We expect to have annual certifications. Persons would need to certify annually, and thereafter with the expectation that this program will become mandatory for the financial markets professionals. Of course, we intend to continue the path by offering supportive programs. We are also in discussions with ACI to offer a dealing certificate. So we commend the FX Working Committee on the direction of the Central Bank on this milestone on agreeing to the principles of the code. This signing by the relevant stakeholders is indicative of Jamaica's commitment to a successful FX industry, one that is comparable to international standards. And GIFS is truly committed to our mission to ensure the continuous building of human and organizational capabilities through research and professional development of knowledgeable, ethical, proactive, customer-driven financial services sector. And we look forward to our continued collaboration in this regard. Thank you so much.
It's now time for what we came here to see, the symbolic signing of the code by the respective presidents.
Thanks for watching Business Access Television's highlights package of the symbolic signing of Jamaica's Foreign Exchange Code of Conduct. Pleasant viewing.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Wealth Magazine is back at it again with Corporate Mingle. Today we're here at the Reggae Mill Bar, where executives, creatives, entrepreneurs are here to mix and mingle. I'm your host, Amita Pasalba. Please stay tuned for highlights.
Thank you to the team from Wealth, and thank you for you being here. We're here to introduce you to the newest way to deal with Western Union. This is the way of the future. This is how you will be handling your Western Union business going forward. It's called westernunion.com.
Grace Kennedy Money Services is in partnership with CME today here at Corporate Mingle. Talk to me about that.
So, Grace Kennedy Money Services is the home of Western Union, Bill Express, FX Trader. Today we're here with CME because we have an exciting new product to push, and this is the ideal target audience or corporates. Because you know what? Corporate people, they're always on the go, they're always moving, they don't have time sometimes to just get to a Western Union location to do their business. So we have a platform where they can stay wherever they are as long as they have an internet connection and they can send a money transfer. That's why we're here, we're pushing that. So woo.com is the name of the website, and it allows you to send a money transfer to anywhere in Jamaica or to 200 countries across the world. Wherever a Western Union location is, you can send a money transfer. You need to send some money, you need to send it fast. Register, go on woo.com, send it. All you have, the only money you spent is that money that you're trying to send. That's it. No credit card fees, no processing fees, no transfer fees, nothing. Zero. And you have to be registered. It's a registered service. Part of registration that you have to do, you start online. But you have to satisfy our own Jamaican regulations, Bank of Jamaica regulations, you have to go into a location with your ID that you registered with to validate. And that's it. All we need to do is to be able to see your ID, see you, and know that you are who this ID is. That's it. Once you've been validated, you never have to go back into a location to receive money ever again.
It's Corporate Mingle Networking with a purpose. We're here today at the Reggae Mill Bar. Talk to us about what's happening.
All right, so this is our fourth staging of the corporate mingle, and this is the first time actually coming to this location. We have a mixed crowd because we have Bumblebee as a sponsor. We have Grace Kennedy, Western Union, Business Access TV, and of course Adam and Eve Day Spa. So we have a very mixed crowd. We have mature, younger persons here. It's always a new venue, so we can try something new so persons don't get used to the same venue, and it's always here again. It's always a new place, preferably somewhere hip, as you see Reggae Mill is where all the festivities happening now for the young people. We have different networking games. We have our wonderful host, as usual, Amisa. So we try to keep it interactive, get persons involved, talking to each other, mingling, networking. Of course, drinks flowing, so people flowing, conversations flowing.
So talk to us a little bit in regards to what exactly it is that Bumblebee does.
So Bumblebee is a digital media agency, so we look at what is, we can consider traditional digital media, which is the Facebook and the Instagram and the Twitter and Google, of course, but we are also into programmatic, and definitely the leading thing product that we offer is Wi-Fi advertising, which is new to Jamaica. So we are partners with Growth Tech, and they are committed to making Wi-Fi like oxygen. So we are committed to helping brands build brand loyalty by helping to make Wi-Fi like oxygen, by partnering and sponsoring that Wi-Fi. So we're the leaders in that regard. We have amazing click-through rates, which is above every other digital platform that is currently here. So we are seeing click-through rates of between 10 and 30% and lead generations of over 30%, which is not heard of in the region. So this is really something big that brands can and should get into.
I've been here for a very long time. We've been building our product for the past 3 years, and I've been coming here, building networks, building my social network. So this is not my first time I've been here.
Tell me about your business, Intranet Solutions.
Intranet Solutions, we offer social Wi-Fi to businesses. So instead of persons signing in with a passcode, they use their social media handles. So they use Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whichever handle is there at the time. Once persons sign in, companies get their demographic information because they would have approved and allowed for you to get that information. So it's a way to build on your marketing list and a way to improve your business overall.
Talk to me about O'Shane Bryant Fitness.
All right, so O'Shane Bryant Fitness, we don't have a fixed location. We're predominantly at UEMONA campus, but of course we're a fitness entity that's geared towards giving Jamaica the most affordable health and fitness lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, and not a fat thing.
Well, it's my second time coming to a mingle. I'm really enjoying it. Perfect place to mingle, to get your business out there and learn about your peers and what's going on.
And our coverage of Corporate Mingle here at the Reggae Mill Bar. I've been your host, Amita Passad Webb, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
It's Friday, and you just tuned in to Jamaica's most informative program, Jamaica Magazine. It's good to see you. We have a packed program lined up, so stick around.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, are we ready for the ops? Drive up on your block, step out now me black cyber take a boy your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. Sin you scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. They say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. They say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
MOCA, MOCA.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, August 23. The Agriculture Ministry is moving swiftly to assist approximately 47 farmers who were affected by fire in Flagaman, St. Elizabeth last Friday. The ministry will be providing topsoil, grass, seeds, fertilizer, and sprays. Minister without portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry, J.C. Hutchinson, made the announcement after touring the affected areas. He has also pledged a donation of $500,000 initially provided to support drought mitigation efforts in his St. Elizabeth Northwestern constituency. The money will now go to the farmers of Flagaman in St. Elizabeth as part of the recovery effort. Minister Hutchinson explains that the northern section of the parish, including his constituency, was receiving more rainfall than the southern belt and was therefore in a position to donate the funds, which came from the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation's Drought Mitigation Program. The massive fire started on the Friday morning of August 16, impacting approximately 200 acres of land. It spread to several sections of the farming belt, destroying crops such as melon and cantaloupe, as well as farming equipment. Preliminary losses are estimated at $45 million. The regulations to support the rollout of the Tourism Workers' Pension Bill is to be completed by January. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says work on the draft is far advanced and should be tabled in Parliament soon.
I'm committing to have that ready in time for the next sessions of Parliament, so that come September, the regulations should be ready to go to Parliament sometime during that month.
Minister Bartlett says once the regulations have been accepted, the next step is to appoint a board of trustees to the pension scheme. Following this will be the procurement of a fund manager and fund administrator to manage the operations of the scheme.
We need to ensure it is very well managed and that we get the best returns possible, so the scheme will be viable and will grow over time.
The permanent secretary and the minister were speaking at a recent JIS think tank. Meanwhile, the ministry is reporting that tremendous interest is being generated among members of the sector from its public education campaign on the Tourism Workers' Pension Fund. Permanent Secretary Jennifer Griffith says in addition to media adverts and town hall meetings, the campaign is facilitating one-on-one consultations with all tourism subsectors.
So far we have been getting very good attendance, very good questions, great interest. And we are heartened that what we're doing is something that is very desirable and needed in the sector. And so we'll continue with our public awareness campaign.
Minister Edmund Bartlett says a coordinator will soon be appointed to the pension fund to undertake the sensitization process.
That will be responsible now for going out there, doing the legwork across the island to ensure that people understand, but most importantly, that they sign up. Because we want full participation immediately as the scheme is established.
The Tourism Workers' Pension Act was passed in Parliament in June and seeks to establish a defined contribution pension scheme for over 300,000 hospitality industry workers. The National Water Commission, NWC, has begun a customer census mapping project in St. Anne. It involves a door-to-door survey and a GPS mapping of existing and potential NWC customers. The project is expected to improve the Commission's water and wastewater services while increasing the agency's responsiveness to current and future customers. Project activities will be done from Mondays to Fridays between 6:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. and on Saturdays and Sundays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. In Phase 1 of the project, activities will be targeted at communities including Miami Bay Estate, Steertown Housing Scheme, Chalky Hill, and Malvern Park Penn Housing Scheme. Residents of Davistown, Lidford, Steertown, Golden Grove, Black Stonehenge, and Monigue will also be reached. Already, the NWC Customer Census Mapping Project has been completed in the parishes of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, and Manchester. And finally, over 1,500 children across the island benefited from a program of activities put on by the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF this summer. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson says the summer camps are part of a broader program to build peace and good relationships between citizens and the police. He was speaking at the recent closing ceremony for one of the camps held at the Salt Spring Primary School in St. James. Over 100 children benefited from that 4-week camp, which focused on character building and personal development.
We, as the JCF, really appreciate, as the police, the sort of commitment that the community has made to peace and building the relationship that we have over the past few months tried to build in Salt Spring.
Major General Anderson says the relationship building process will continue over the long term and replicated in other communities and parishes.
In September, we'll be sending some 24 school resource officers into various schools to develop and build that relationship between the police and schools, some 30 schools in St. James. We will expand both our breakfast program and our homework program in conjunction with those partners and new partners who want to get involved.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We want our children to understand the importance of physical activity. Based on our Jamaica Lifestyle Survey, 82% is in low-level activity, meaning we're just doing enough to survive. And only 16% is in moderate and 2% in high-level intensity. So we want to get more person in moderate and vigorous activity. And so we want to encourage them to be more active so that they can get a lot of benefits. Increase academics performance, reduce stress, reduce weight loss, beautiful skin, help you to sleep better. We want it to be more active so that we can have a healthy mind and a healthy body.
Creating jewelry has always been an important part of our culture, whether from beads, metal, paper, or just about anything we can find in our environment. Here are some examples of Jamaica's most talented local jewelry creators.
Droplets of beads, creatively designed metals, painted wood, all handcrafted to adorn the neck, face.
These are like from Lucky Seeds and RSI, and these bracelet is from copper with seed mixed in. And we have bamboo handband. We have leather handband over here, and we have wallets, sandals, and pipes and chalices. Natural, all handmade right here in Jamaica. I've been doing this business for over 40 years now. I've traveled all over the world, and this is the business that I do. This is my living, and I'm very proud of it. I was working at the post office for 18 years, but in the 18 years at the post office, I learned this trade. I'm self-taught. That's what I love about this. I think about a creative piece, and I manifest it with my hands. And that's what I love about it, manifesting what I think.
So we have two lines here. We have one called the Heavenlies, and then we also have another line that's completely made out of paper, crafted from scratch, hand-painted by a fine artist and varnished. And that one is called Inspired by Nature. And if you look at it, you'll see things that remind you of sunsets or hillsides and mountainous reliefs and fruits and flowers. We have some freshwater pearls, we have shells, we have upcycled, I would say, materials that we used to make the earrings, so paper. So, and we do a lot of seeds and shells. I work a lot with shells. So those sorts of things.
I'm telling you this, we don't know how rich we are. We're a very rich country. I'd love if we could concentrate on developing our skills and using our local product and advance. We are so rich that it's confusing sometimes to see what we're doing, some much stupid things. Killing each other, robbing each other. We don't have to do that. We have everything here. So we need to just concentrate and focus and be positive and use the things that we have, because we have a lot.
Just be more mindful of what you're doing every day and what you're using every day, you know. Paper instead of plastic, that's kind of, you know, the stereotypical answer, but really thinking about where you're buying your products. Are you buying things that are locally made? Are you buying things that are imported more than the locally made?
So many wish they could visit our shores. We live where they vacation. Brand Jamaica beckons all from the four corners of the earth.
Well, as a Jamaican, I have great pride in selling it. You know, your pride that you sell Jamaica with is something that it rolls off. Jamaica has so much to offer, and every time I have the privilege of bringing an executive down to Jamaica, an executive from an airline or a tour operator or a travel agency, and you take them across the country, you know, the pride that they said, wow, I can't imagine, especially when it's their first time. Wow, I love this.
Build it. Cherish it. Our wealth is Brand Jamaica.
There are only a few more days left before the new school year begins. And if you're like me, you just can't wait to get those final road trips in. If you're searching for some travel ideas, this next feature is all you need. The parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew have something and somewhere for everyone.
I am on the southeastern end of the island, washed by the Caribbean Sea, bounded by St. Andrew to the east, west, and the north. I may be little, but guess what? Me talawa. So this isn't really about the history of Kingston, but if it was, I'd tell you that it's been crafted from beneath our shores and extends across the harbor further inland, where the musical beats of ska, reggae, and mento were formed.
The music industry has been quite well documented, and to my recollection, it started more of an effort to play music that other people couldn't play than as an industry. It kind of unearthed that spirit, that creative spirit in Jamaican, and we broke all of the recording rules, but we came up with a product that kind of represented the kind of Jamaican spirit, and that indomitable spirit, and it gave a sort of voice or expression to our Africanness. From the 70s, 80s, 90s, Jamaica celebrated a number of great icons. You know, we're talking about the Ernest Smiths, the Pluto Shervintons, the Dennis Browns, you know, the Gregory Isaacs, the Alton Ellis, and then we get into the megastar region, the Jimmy Cliffs and the Peter Tosh, and then the Bob Marleys. Reggae is the soundtrack of our lives, you know. Reggae is of us, about us, with us, and it has remained true to us as a Jamaican expression. Over there.
Oh my God. What? I remember the link. So after that tubs of knowledge about Kingston's musical history, you must be hungry. So come, we'll go down a town. It is commonly believed that Coronation Market is located on an old African burial ground and was called Duppy Market before being given its royal name.
Coronation Market, we have melon over here, we have other things, variety. So you can come down and get fruits, vegetables, scallion, onion over there, you name it. Reasonable at a reasonable cost.
Thank you. Bad piece of soup, yeah. If you thought it was only food being offered here in downtown Kingston, then guess again. Do you remember when I told you earlier that Kingston was bordered by St. Andrew? Well, it's time to cross that border and explore the other side. Jamaica is famous for its Blue Mountain grade of coffee, and right now we're at one of the first coffee estates that was founded in the late 1700s. Welcome to Clydesdale.
It's always been an interesting place because the place is full of history, but it's also very interesting from the point of the environment and nature. There's a swimming hole near here where I've been going to swim, and whenever people visit, we always make a trip to Clydesdale. And we can see the remains of the horizontal water wheel that was connected to the water wheel that had the millstones, I think, to grind the coffee. The other interesting feature is that the roof is constructed. You can see the load of the roof comes down to the center as well as out to the walls. And the verticals came down and carried the load through the beams and down through the columns to the ground. This seems to be the residence, and I say that because there's an obvious kitchen area, which is an outside cooking area that's set up with stove and so on. There's a herb garden outside. Inside here you see the remains of toilets and basins. You need to step carefully and watch out for rusty nails. There's a fireplace, which is an upstairs and downstairs fireplace.
Clydesdale is a nice place. The environment, the climate, the river them, you know, it's nice, and you come by Clydesdale and you can just sit in you can observe a fresher breath. For them say by the tree, you live more healthier.
We've been having so much fun today, and our time together is almost over. But before it does, I have a surprise just for you. I bet you thought that was a surprise, but nope, we're not there yet, so let's keep going. Nestled in the hills of St. Andrew in the Bowden district, opposite the Hermitage Dam, it's the scenic Falling Edge Waterfalls. Let's go. Do I go to the right or do I go to the left? Guys, take the left. I hope you had a great time on the scenic tour of Kingston and St. Andrew. Don't just sit and watch it on your TV. Go on out and explore. These and other parishes await.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come scam. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now me block. Cyber take about your laptop. Pull up every lock, no evidence a drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the underground. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for. From you say scam, you better look out for. When you move corrupt, better look out for. Feel say you get wet, look out for. Look out for, look out for.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
Did you know that if someone has died and did not leave a will, you must report it to the Administrator General's Department? If they have also left children under the age of 18 or assets such as property, bank accounts, and motor vehicle, this next feature will give you all the information you need to report the death.
Yo, Kevin, what going? You know, play ball with the man them?
Yo, you know, say, I think happened to me the other day, my youth. Have me away, I never gonna lie to you.
What happened?
You know, some of them stressed out and a grieve. You know my brother John?
Yeah.
You know, so the man say him sick, and we carry him to the hospital. And the man just dead, so. Dead left him daughter, no will. Yeah, and him two daughter, them called Ashley at 9 and Gabriela 13, so we really don't know what to do.
Boy, sorry for hearing that, you know. You never have no will?
Yo, I just said that already, man. Yo, man no left no will. If him did left a will, would I know what to do. I really don't know what to do.
So him never have house, car, bank account? You must at least NHT contribution.
Yo, if I tell you the truth, my brother very secretive. So I really don't know. I just know the facts. Say he's a teacher, and I know them pay him through the bank, so he would have a bank account. I know him to buy a house last year. The car where him have, I never know if I fee him. So I really don't know. That may I say if in the left a will, would I really know where him have or what to do. But we really don't know what to do.
No, I did hear upon the radio still, Administrator General's Department deal with them matter there, you know.
Administrator General's Department. What them do really? What them really do?
Well, the government office, man. Them, whenever people dead without will and them have kids under 18, them deal with the assets.
So you say Administrator General's Department, them deal with them thing there? Push for the Administrator General's Department there.
12 Ocean Boulevard.
Yeah, but I really like to go down there still and find out from them what them can do, because I tell us so we really don't know what to do. I tell you the truth.
Follow them play some ball, man. Before they go down there tomorrow.
Respect.
That's right. If someone dies and did not leave a will, leaving children under the age of 18 years old and have assets such as property, bank accounts, and motor vehicle, you must report the death of the person to the Administrator General's Department.
Good morning, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Hello, good morning. I have a situation, I hope you can help me. My brother died last week, and I don't know what to do.
Did he leave a will?
No, he didn't leave a will.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that you complete this document for us.
To process the report of a death, you will need to complete a form of particulars witnessed by a justice of the peace or a notary public. You also have to submit an original death certificate, proof that you're related to the deceased, for example, birth certificate, marriage certificate, proof of assets such as bank passbook, land ownership documents, share certificates, motor vehicle documents, insurance policies, certificate of deposit. You will also need to provide a small sum towards administration expenses if no cash is left by the deceased. Before reporting a death, you can visit our offices for further information. Our Western office at the second floor of the National Housing Trust building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
Speeding through life and the
traffic lights till somebody get hurt and the tears start cry. Save a life for the kids, for you and I. Save kids' lives. Make the road safe whether day or night, for pedestrians, passengers, cars and bikes. Save a life for the kids, for you and I. Save kids' lives.
Hey man, it's our job to keep the road them safe. Have to take care of the youth them so we know them safe. And obey the road code, don't race. No bother with the speeding case, make face and check your light them and your tires and brakes. Riders and the pillions who left the helmet. I put on the cell phone, no send no text. No matter what color they on your plate.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt to keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place when you're on the road.
Hey, follow me. Well, everybody drive good and walk good. Then teach the youth them how to cross good. I beg you obey the road signs, park good. And put the young ones in a car seats, all good. And everybody drive good and walk good. And we say young and old, I beg you cross good. Remember the dark clothes at night, that is not good. From you I use up the sidewalk, it's all good.
When you're on the road, take your time. When you're on the road, bear this in mind. When you're on the road, you can save a life. When you're on the road, when you're on the road, I beg you please be safe. Wear your seatbelt to keep you safe, and make sure your helmet's in place when you're on the road. When you're on the road, when you're on the road.
And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks for joining with us. To watch today's program again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Don't forget that you're able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Sandra. Have a wonderful weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
It's the last PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018, and Business Access TV, as usual, is here to bring you the highlights. I'm Javon Keys. Stay tuned.
Mr. Mitchell, so tell us about the theme for this morning's breakfast.
The theme for this morning's session is citizen security as a tool for effective crime management.
It is intended to raise the awareness of what citizen security is, and shortly, citizen security is the level of confidence that the average citizen feels in his community and how he feels about his ability to move around in his environment, and what structures the government, the state can place around the community to increase that level of confidence. How the police force and the security forces behave is critical to citizen security. So we're trying to raise the awareness of the population on citizen security and to make people realize that hard policing alone is not enough, that you have to raise the confidence of the citizens in what you are doing.
So how important is it for businesses generally to be concerned about citizen security?
Well, I think it's very important that the level of investor confidence and the level of the business community's confidence is raised in that their stakeholders can come to work, their employees can come to work, that they can move freely around in the community, and that they will have certainty of operations generally in the society at large.
And for businesses out there considering being a part of the PSOJ, what are the benefits?
I think the benefits of the PSOJ are, among other things, that you get a platform to express your concerns, to express your interests. You get information. We have a monthly economic bulletin. You get President's Fora like this. And you also get to find out what's going on in the society that you operate in. Then we have networking. We have mingles on a quarterly basis, so you do have networking with other members and with important influencers in the society.
So firstly, tell us a bit about what First Rock Capital does.
It's really a real estate investment holding company which has as its core focus real estate investments and private equity.
So how important is a company like that now in this day and age?
Well, truthfully, real estate represents the most finite investment asset, and what it offers is above average returns and stability with respect to capital.
So this morning you're going to be inducted in the PSOJ. How does that feel?
Excellent. You know, the PSOJ's mandate is a very solid one, and you know, the PSOJ has been doing a lot of work with respect to, you know, championing and being an advocate for businesses and just the private sector in general. And what better way to express our support than to be a member?
So we're zoning in a little bit on the discussion this morning. It's about citizen security. How does your company play a role in that, or does that affect your company any at all, do you think?
I mean, security, you know, continues to be a main issue and at the forefront as well of all major businesses and individuals as well. So anything that we can do to enforce or reinforce the importance of it, then, you know, it has our support.
Citizen security, in every sense, has become a vital part of effective crime management. And as we all know, the crime that currently pervades Jamaica negatively impacts human development, it affects our economic development, it touches our social and cultural rights at the local, regional, and international levels. We know this, that when a country fails to protect its people from crime and violence, it leads to a breakdown in the relationship between those in power and those who are being governed. Therefore, we have to ensure that the correct checks and balances are made to foster that relationship by creating the required community action plans, better citizen police arrangements, and having an overall coordinated system of crime control and crime prevention. We've seen the implementation of the states of emergency. We've also seen a number of zones of special operations being declared across several communities in the country in a bid to really put a cap on the criminal acts taking place in those areas. We've seen some positive results, certainly when it concerns St. James and the murder figures trending positively downwards. And we've also seen where acts of violence in general has trended down in these areas. What more can we do? We will explore all of that this morning. But we'll also talk about whether these approaches are indeed effective and how much more can be done in this area. Moving right into the rest of the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Howard Mitchell, President of the PSOJ, to deliver opening remarks.
The subject that we are going to discuss this morning is a critical
but not a well understood one, I think, in this society. I think that it is fitting for the PSOJ to end the year with the same topic that we started the year with, which is the issue of crime. The issue that has plagued us every year for more than the last 30-odd years, that has become endemic, that has been written into the fabric of our culture, that children have grown up with, that women have had to learn to live with, that businesses have had to write in permanently into their balance sheet protective devices for their stakeholders. I think it is so important that we remove the callous protective indifference that we have developed towards crime and face it in its stark terms and understand its motivation, its structures, and how to minimize it. You will never rid a society completely of crime, but you can reduce its impact and the terrible consequences on your people. So that I think we want to raise the level of awareness of citizen security in Jamaica, because if we are going to move from growth to development, then we need to understand that our human resources, our citizens, the people of our nation, are the most critical component of that development. And you can have growth. You can, in fact, have growth that mitigates against development by increasing marginalization of a society and sowing the seeds for its eventual destruction. So we need to be mindful, and we need to start planning for that.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have more from the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018 after this break.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this: no more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more crime. Thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're tuned in to BATV's coverage of the final President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. Let's head to the stage.
I now invite our President, Mr. Howard Mitchell, to make his way to the podium to present the certificates to our new members. So, our first inductee today has joined us as an individual member. Please join me in welcoming Nadine Burrows-Siaga. Nadine has managed Island Broadcasting Services Limited, better known as KLAS-FM. She has also worked with National Supply Company Limited, Stewart's Auto, Silver Star Motors, T-Tech Limited, and Prime Sports. 876 on the go. One of our new corporate members to allow commuters to book cabs and make payments online, making social media management and integrated marketing campaigns. The company has been reinventing how regional partners connect with their audience through its team of professionals and innovative concepts. First Rock Capital Holdings, an easily understood business model. By owning and managing properties that generate income, developing these properties and selling them for financial gain. Sufficient communities. Green Solutions International. Welcome to the PSOJ. Michael University College. Joining us as a corporate member, Michael University College is the oldest teaching institution in the Western Hemisphere. Another corporate member being inducted this morning. Consistently providing client solutions, they deliver 100% managed and maintained workspaces as they continue to build their global footprint. Trend Media. They've successfully transitioned from being an online content provider to a full-service digital media house. One of its flagship e-publications, Loop News, is now identified as a credible local news provider. Let me once again congratulate all our inductees collectively.
To our panelists, thank you so much for joining us on a very important topic, one that certainly has dominated the news cycle and the national conversation where it concerns this issue of crime, but more so, citizen security. I want to thank you and we look forward to your inputs this morning. I want to start off with you, Mark Shields. What does it really take to deliver citizen security?
Citizen security, as far as I'm concerned, starts with some very basics that are important to all of us that live, work, come to Jamaica as visitors. I delivered a speech a month ago at the CIM lecture in New York, and I started the point by saying two things. One is, I've been in Jamaica for 15 years, and in 15 years, 20,000 people have been murdered, which seems an awful lot of people to me, and that's 20,000 people murdered, plus thousands and thousands of families, the victims, the untold victims of people who have lost their husbands, wives, sons, daughters, cousins, aunties. So there's all of that group there, 20,000 people murdered. That's a stark statistic. And then we get back to living in Jamaica as it is today. And I have real concerns that before we get on to the technical side of community intervention and real building communities, that we're not doing the basics. It seems acceptable that traders in downtown Kingston can just take over the pedestrian footway. They can hang their garments in front of other shops. It's at a situation where many people who would like to go downtown dare not go downtown because they're in fear. It is also that when I drive to Montego Bay, and as a friend of mine just wrote to me yesterday, he said he is more fearful of driving to Montego Bay than he is of gunmen in Denham Town and elsewhere. Because as you know, because you guys do it as well, every time you drive to Montego Bay, you take your life in your hands because you see the bad standard of driving. And that is a real threat, and life should not be like that.
Yeah.
The third point I make is something that I've been, let's say, tweeting about over the past couple of months, and it perhaps became even more ironic last week into this week, that again, the basics. If you look at the so-called licensed taxis in this country, where there are very clear rules and regulations that say that the windows must not be tinted, that there shouldn't be any markings on those taxis, that they should abide by the law like the rest of us, obeying red lights, not cutting up on the outside, all of that stuff that you guys live with every single day of your lives and causes you all stress. And I believe that we have to start by dealing with that. Now, people say, well, how do you do it? I'll take the last one first. There should be a war on licensed taxi drivers and unlicensed taxi drivers. It should be not just the police responsibility, because we always take that short-sighted view, well, the police aren't doing their job properly, but there's a transport authority. There appears to be a very vocal representatives for taxi drivers who came out last week because they were upset about the Amended Road Traffic Act, which of course is a good thing and is designed to actually bring us into line. So I feel that we can do a lot. We should be able to live in a normal society, and that means before we get to anything technical, we need to get those basics right. Not rely just on the police, but just take taxis as an example. There is no reason at all why the Transport Authority, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the local authorities, those who represent the taxi drivers cannot get together and clear it up overnight, make it safe for us. We're lucky, most of the people in this room, I bet, drive their own cars to and from work. We don't have to put up with some of the terrible situations that other people crammed into taxis and buses have to. So I think we also have a duty to them to try to improve things.
We are up on another break, but please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Thanks for staying with us. Here are more highlights.
From where you sit, Mark Shields speaks much towards institutional strengthening. But I want to put to you the citizen having a responsibility as well, and how the citizen carries out that duty within the democracy. Do you see Jamaicans stepping up to call for the kind of order that Mark Shields is advocating for, or are we merely bystanders?
Let me say, if I use the PSOJ and its president as an example, we would say that we're not standing up. In February of this year, the president called rightly for an oversight committee to deal with crime and violence. Now it is November and we have not seen it. How many citizens, how many civil groups have supported that call is really inadequate.
We heard an announcement from the Prime Minister yesterday in New York saying that he's going to be setting up a commission on crime early in 2019.
Yeah, I heard it before that it was going to set up a summit.
Yes, we heard about the summit too.
Yeah, so it's not new. I said on Sunday at a congregation in St. Thomas, and Mark Shields was mentioning 20,000 killed since he has been here. And I've been here a little longer than him. I said that if any year 500 persons were killed who are the brightest and best, influential leaders, we would find the resources and the time to make significant changes. In other words, because it's not affecting us so much, I live in a gated community. Some people have protective services, but anytime it starts to affect us greatly, we will do more.
This is where I'd love to bring you in, Richard Divins, because the question is, how much of a rights-based approach do we take in dealing with citizen security?
Well, this is something that the government has been starting doing in the last years, at least for a program that we have been supporting, which is the Poverty Reduction Program. And in a certain way, the fact that we are supporting the social inclusion of areas of here in Kingston and other areas in Jamaica, the fact that we are trying to promote a better economy in those areas, we are trying to promote the safety, the social cohesion. This is something which is very much related in improving the security in those areas. And in this respect, it is very important. It's very important when the government, or together with international donors, we are supporting the design of a citizen security program in the social aspect of the citizen security, the participation of the communities in the decision-making of the activities, of the project, of the initiatives is crucial. Without the participation of the civil society, without the participation of the community, it's impossible to take ownership. We need the commitment of the people.
The question is, what are they committing to, especially when they already think, so to speak, thinking that they abide and apply their own rules. Here comes now social intervention, trying to change all of that. But how much will social intervention be influential to the process? What else is needed?
Social intervention will contribute a great deal. It has been contributing and it will continue to contribute. But by itself, of course, social intervention will not do everything. You speak of citizen security as effective crime management. Citizen Security and Justice Program is out of the Ministry of National Security, but it has a component that deals with the Ministry of Justice. When we look at social development, we have to speak of citizen security, yes, but we have to speak of justice. We have to speak of rights. As you know, Peter Tosh has said, he wants equal rights and justice. Don't give me no peace, I want equal rights and justice. And unless citizens see themselves as owning or owning a process of development, of inclusion, they will not feel as if, yes, it is for their benefit. Our experience has shown, and I'm sure JCIF and other agencies have shown, that residents of vulnerable communities wholeheartedly support and embrace social interventions when they are a part of the process. We deal with crime prevention. As you know, crime and violence is multifaceted. It has many different actors, many different players, many different sectors. We do not treat with crime control, or crime suppression, which we see as the work of the security forces. We think that crime prevention is critical to the development of Jamaica, to treating with crime and violence. And crime prevention starts before a child is born.
Yes.
And it goes way on into adulthood. We have not yet, and the chairman spoke about it, recognized fully the importance or the knowledge. We do not know how important crime prevention is, in that we have to treat with it in a sustained, multifaceted manner. In a nutshell, no ministry should get a budget passed each fiscal year without showing the country where in that budget is the allocation for activities to treat with crime prevention. Because it is so multifaceted, it touches on every sector. Every sector has a role to play. And let me repeat, no budget should be approved unless we can see where that sector, what that sector is doing. We welcome the idea of an oversight or a commission, because what we have observed is that the lack of collaboration among the sectors is one of the handicaps. It is something which causes waste, inefficiency, lack of adequate outcomes. And until the government can have a robust, very robust mechanism, institutional arrangement to ensure that there's collaboration between education, health, national security, all of these sectors working in their own way, but at the same time, designing together, implementing together, evaluating together. Until we get that, we will be groping in the dark to a large extent.
And that's it for coverage of the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life runs art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
It was a meeting of two cities when the Montego Bay Convention Center hosted cocktails in Kingston at the Spanish Court Hotel, Worthington. Business Access TV was there to share in the moment.
First and foremost, on behalf of the team, I want to say a heartfelt thank you for being here. You could have been at other places, you could have been at other events, you could have been at other functions, but you found the convention center team very well to join us. So thank you again. All right? And so to go into this, again, just welcome, a heartfelt welcome. The Montego Bay Convention Center team is here. We have gone around, we have spoken to a lot of persons, but tonight it's very special for us because so many familiar faces, so many partners, so many clients, returning clients, possible clients, and the list goes on. So again, you will not hear me enough to say thank you, because that's a word that from the convention center, it's a part of us, and we really take pride in showing appreciation. This evening is truly special for us, for it has been a long time coming. Kingston has been a long time coming. And, Montego Bay Convention Center, of course, we opened our doors in 2011 and to the events and meeting industry. And, but connecting with our friends and our partners in Kingston has always been on the top of our mind. Over the years, we have received substantial support from our clients in Kingston. Therefore, this event had to be in our cards. And of course, we have a large deck, but you're on top of that deck. And we know good things happen in Kingston. So like many other parishioners, we packed up everything and we headed into Kingston on the town bus yesterday. Some of the team came in, when was it? Monday. And they say, Aaron, the traffic. And I said, it can't be worse than Montego Bay. And we found ourselves here sitting in this room 5:30 because we've said there's not one partner that is standing in front of us now that is going to be here and not see a team member from the convention center representing. So again, team, thank you. Hopefully, any guest tonight, and this is not meant to mean anything, but any guest tonight that have never experienced the convention center, unfortunately, you're in the minority. But what we want you to do when you're in Montego Bay, please come and visit. Sit with us, have lunch. Let's tour you. Let's show you the technology. Let's show you what some of our partners in this room have done with us. We have transformed the convention center. And of course, there are many events. And one of the things that we had looked at is how we put all the assets, the available assets, through our vendors, through our partners, together to really make the convention center what it is. The purpose of the convention center was never a self-sustained entity. It's to really contribute to economic development. And what we're measured on is not only profitability, but our economic impact. And we've seen it, especially in Montego Bay. But one of the initiatives that we had is to bring Kingston a little bit to Montego Bay as well through our friends and partners that are here tonight. So the Montego Bay Convention Center represents opportunities, one for us to think differently and see possibilities for now and the future. The center firmly places Jamaica as a viable destination for meetings, conferences, exhibitions, and of course, a selection of certain sporting activity that relates to sport tourism. So while the honor is mine to welcome you, I always want to thank you for taking the time out and engaging with us. Think differently. That is what I want to drive in your thought process when it comes to the Montego Bay Convention Center. Let us work with the possibility. Let us make the possibilities become a reality. The sales and events team, they're here tonight. And I really want to identify the team members. I know when it comes to this part, they tend to just come together. And when I start to call the names, they're going to raise their hands. And they're going to say who they are. And of course, we all know them. So leading the sales and events team is, of course, our director of sales and events, Miss Mavoy Smith. Of course, there's Mavoy. We do have the sales managers with us tonight. You do have Donald Thompson. Where's Donald? Donald? There he is. There he is. Thank you, Donald. And of course, you have Alexia. Thank you, Alexia. And there's one lady here that she's a blend of food and beverage and sales. We call her catering sales. That's Trishani. So food is always important. So Trishani, thank you again. Trishani Austin. Our senior events manager, Kyan Henton. Many of you know Kyan. Many of you have been exposed to Kyan. Spearheading the senior events. Thank you, Kyan. So again, we have one lady that keeps us together. She's Michelle Gordon. Michelle is really our executive assistant and of course sales administrator. Sometimes we where based on a property, based on an events, we're pulled left, right, and center. If it's not for Michelle Gordon Whitterm, her MG, the acronym MG, we would be all over the place. So MG's responsibility is to keep us together, keep us focused, and also keep us well fed. Thank you. ASEAN, many of you heard from ASEAN, know ASEAN, ASEAN PR, marketing, sponsorship. What else? What else? What else? And he takes the beautiful pictures. So with your permission tonight, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN will, of course, on social media. I'm still catching up with technology, social media, Facebook, Instagram, InstaChat. I got that right? Just joking. Just joking. So again, that's a team that is here tonight, and they're out, and they're here well represented. So, of course, Dr. Guntley, my second mother. Wave your hands for me, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John Woolcock, he heads up the events department for Jamaica Tourist Board. And of course, you know the Convention Center. We're now a part of the Ministry of Tourism. We're an agency under the Ministry of Tourism. John, very vital to our organization, very vital in terms of the partnership and to allow Jamaica to be recognized again, not only as leisure, but as meetings and conventions. Because really, the large groups that the Convention Center will and the future possibilities to bring into Jamaica, of course, will create that economic impact that we're pushing for Jamaica to recognize. Not only about profitability, but looking at economic impact, whether it be indirect or direct, to see how that trickles down for the entire geographic location to benefit. So again, that's a mandate and purpose of the Convention Center in partnership with our main sister agency, the Jamaica Tourist Board. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
We're here at the Spanish Court Hotel, Worthington, for the Cocktails in Kingston. Why is it important for the Montego Bay Convention Center to have this event tonight?
It's very important to us because a few things that we have highlighted and wanted to bring forefront is that we recognize and appreciate our partners in Kingston, our clients in Kingston, our potential clients in Kingston. Of course, we do have these events just to mingle, just to share our thoughts process, not in terms of business, but just to get everyone inside a room. And of course, we just talk in a informal or formal environment, and we just get together. So that's really the purpose of our vendors, our partners, our agencies, from the ministries to our suppliers. We just get everyone in and show our appreciation.
You mentioned the Jamaica Tourist Board as one of your major partners. How has that relationship been?
It is excellent, and it is a relationship that has been in the making since our inception. The tourist board is very important to us. Jamaica Tourist Board, of course, is what we consider as our DMO, or destination marketing organization, that assists the convention center in not only marketing the facility to any other destination that would willing to come offshore, especially the international destinations, but what they do as well is to market Jamaica and assist us in not only marketing as Sun and Sierra Leisure, but to ensure that Jamaica is seen as a meetings and events destination that can host large group in a first world facility.
And speaking of that first world facility, tell us a little bit about the Montego Bay Convention Center and what people can expect from the venue.
Montego Bay Convention Center, managed by SMG, a North American-based company that manages 85% of the public facilities in the world. Of course, first world, now we have a mandate to ensure that that first world facilities is represented here in Jamaica. And of course, Montego Bay Convention Center opened its door in 2011 to the events industry. And what we really do is to host events. I mean, regardless from your weddings to your largest expos, to your exhibition, to your conventions, to your sporting events, to your church events. So we're an all-inclusive package. We're a flexible facility. And what we do is to host any and every event. So that's basically what we do. And what to expect is our people. We have a set of well-trained staff, and events is our core business. And what we did in the initial stage is to ensure that our team members, they're fully aware of all aspects of event management, certified and also recognized internationally. So what you will expect from the Montego Bay Convention Center is the highest level of technology, the best aesthetics, theme, and the best management you can think of bringing your event from a thought process to reality. So that's what we're all about.
And finally, now that you're here in Kingston for this event, what kind of connections are you hoping to make at Cocktails in Kingston tonight?
Yes, we do have quite a few corporate partners in Kingston, but what we want to do is to bring Kingston to Montego Bay. Get Kingston to come to Montego Bay, see what the convention center is all about. So for potential clients that we do have, it's just to mingle, to invite them, just to, a short presentation, show what we're about, and then of course to invite those potential clients down, and of course get them to know the convention center, come in, explore the property, do inspection, see the technology, see the staff, meet the people, meet the strength behind the asset, and then of course we go from there. So in a sense, is really to have Kingston in Montego Bay, and of course to expand our business, which that's the whole intention.
The Montego Bay Convention Center opened its doors about 8 years ago. What have we seen from the convention center over the years?
Well, the convention center since 2011 to now 2019, we've done a little bit over 700 events. We've done a lot of weddings, we've done graduations, we've done car shows, we've done meetings, conventions. We're home to most of the major churches in Jamaica where they do their annual conventions with us. So we're home to the Jamaica Baptist, the United Open Bible, the Jehovah's Witnesses, you name it, we're home to them.
And as was mentioned, the Jamaica Tourist Board is a major partner with the Montego Bay Convention Center. How has that experience, or how has that relationship been over the years?
Very positive. Having the convention center in Montego Bay means that we have the ability to go after larger groups. groups that will support the hotels in the area. And without the convention center, this was a void. So, of course, having a state-of-the-art facility in Montego Bay opens up a lot of opportunities for us. And we're seeing where MICE planners are really taking a very close look at the destination, whereas in the past they might have said, you know what, this group is a little bit too large for Jamaica or for Montego Bay. Now it's on the table. Now Jamaica is even more viable.
And can you comment on the impact it has had on the tourism industry over the years?
The Montego Bay Convention Center, as Karen Benjamin, our interim general manager, mentioned earlier, that our core function is basically to support the community. So our aim is to bring in, as John just mentioned, the larger groups to Jamaica, so it will impact the hotels. So we basically get heads in beds. You'll have the coconut man on the roadside being able to sell more jelly coconuts, the cane man, the nightlife, so the Margaritaville's, the Pier 1s, you name it. So it's like a domino effect. So all partners involved will be able to get a piece of the pie.
And it's only been here since 2011, so can you comment on what impacts has been made to tourism before and now?
Well, again, as Mavoy just mentioned, it's all positive in the sense that we're getting more business, increased business, more visitor arrivals coming in. Conventions that would not have considered Jamaica, now they're looking at the destination, they're actually booking the destination. So again, it's very positive. We have become even more competitive in the marketplace.
How do you see the center being utilized in new ways to pull more visitors?
We are trying to focus more heavily on the sporting events. So as it is now, we host the NCAA, that's a basketball competition, every November, and this competition is aired live on CBS. So not only Jamaicans get an opportunity to see what can happen at the convention center, but persons internationally will be able to see what we're doing, and they may think to say, okay, so I can bring a sporting event to Jamaica. So it's not just meetings and conventions, we're pretty much multifunctional, which is why in our different spaces at the convention center, there's nothing fixed. So whatever the event is, we can accommodate it. If it's a car show, we can do it. If it's basketball, we can do it. If it's taekwondo, we can do it. So you name it, we can do it.
And anything new from the tourist board that you can mention?
The Jamaica Tourist Board is always looking at new opportunities. We have a very strong team in the market, so we are pursuing a lot of new ventures. So it's going to be great for Jamaica moving forward. We're seeing it in our visitor arrivals. It continues to grow. And again, it's going from strength to strength. But we have a gem in MBCC, no question about it. And all of our partners, from the hotels, the DMCs, the attractions, it's all very good.
Your company has hosted several events at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Talk to us about the experience working with them.
It's an amazing experience working with the team there. One of the wonderful things about the convention center and the team is that level of engagement. They take on your project as if it's their own, and they're really involved from start to finish. And it's something that you really appreciate as a project manager and an event manager, because you want to be assured that all of the details of your event are taken care of. Usually you're planning an event from Kingston at the Montego Bay Convention Center, so having that level of oversight, that level of attention to detail is really very important to us. So it's something that we really appreciate. After a while they become your friends. It's really an amazing team there. So I'd recommend anyone to go to the convention center. And it's not just about the team, it's about the facilities, it's about the facilitation, it's about the accommodation of each and every request. So I can't say enough good things about them there. Mm-hmm.
And how important would you say a venue like this is for Jamaica?
Oh, absolutely, very important. I mean, Jamaica, as the general manager just said, Jamaica is more than just sea and sand. And it's very important that you have a facility that can accommodate local, nationally scaled, as well as regional and international events right here on our shores. It's an opportunity for various industries to be showcased, for us to stage events that have multi-tiered opportunities for varied groups. So for the hotel sector, the broader tourism sector, for other persons here in Jamaica, it really makes sense for you to have a facility like this in Jamaica. And I can only wish that they go from strength to strength in terms of the range of services that they offer that will ensure that we entice as many people here as possible to utilize the services and the facilities that are here.
Hi, I'm Peter Shakir from Event and Entertainment Services. We're an event management and planning company, and we do many events across the island and abroad as well. We also own Jamaica Bridal Expo, and this is my partner, Joanne Paxton, and she'll talk to you a little bit about hosting Jamaica Bridal Expo at the Montego Bay Convention Center.
We've hosted the Jamaica Bridal Expo at the Montego Bay Convention Center for the past 6 years, and Jamaica Bridal Expo is at home at the Convention Center. Everything is positive about the venue, the grand ballroom, what you have the expo in, the conference room where we hold a conference on the first day of activities for the expo, and the staff at the Montego Bay Convention Center is absolutely amazing.
Thank you for tuning into our coverage of Cocktails in Kingston, hosted by the Montego Bay Convention Center. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
I wanted to be an educator because I believe that education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world.
My dreams and aspiration is to one day become an entrepreneur where I can employ other persons and help to build the country.
I wanted to go into development. I wanted to help people become better versions of themselves. Growing up, I saw a lot of violence, I saw a lot of crime, I saw a lot of poverty. The challenges are so many. The first one that comes to mind is the level of youth unemployment that's here.
Challenges that exist here in West Prospect Bogwalk are lack of awareness for educational opportunities or job opportunities.
Not many got a chance to do CXC or graduate from the secondary level. So that's a major setback for the people living in the community.
A way to alleviate this issue is training programs.
They need more opportunities, like to go back to school, to get themselves a certificate so they can be able to work and create employment for themselves and their family.
Push more entrepreneurship opportunity, encourage these youths to be creative and innovative in what they do. Give them startup capital to start their business. Invest more in the youth skills and talents.
The Poverty Reduction Program is funded by the European Union, and it really is a program that focuses on the most vulnerable type of communities, making communities safer, making citizens more healthy, better access to education.
For European Union, investing in youth is an obvious choice. They are the future of the country. If we prepare them well, they will bring the change that Jamaica needs. That's why we invest in scholarships, internship, training in life skills and mentorship.
I received a tertiary scholarship from PRP to attend the University of Technology, Jamaica. It meant a lot to me because I realized that somebody else believed in me and somebody saw the potential that I have and somebody believed that I could actually achieve my goals.
I benefited by getting firstly an internship, and also they assisted my bachelor's degree financially. But critically, outside of the finances, the persons that were on the project, you know, the motivation that they provided, etc., it really provided a huge boost.
This is my third year at the MICO. This scholarship, it helped me to be able to focus only on my...
Really good. It was an opportunity for me to prove myself, to give myself a service and also to gain experience in the working world and to also provide for my family.
I plan to be an agent of change in my community by being a mentor, a leader, and a godfather for the youths growing up. Try to help them teach them a trade.
You don't have to be rich to help. You don't have to achieve greatness to start. I contributed to my basic school by providing them with the necessary resources that they need, that I believe that in the long run, it will have a ripple effect on many, many persons.
Professionally, I manage the whole program, which is aimed at giving young persons the opportunity to, you know, do what I did, basically, to get their foot inside an organization. Additionally, I also have a little small business that I try to employ young persons to learn a skill, etc.
When you're persistent in life, when you're determined, when you're hungry for success, then you'll be able to accomplish and achieve anything that you want.
It has changed hundreds and hundreds of lives. Not just my life, my family lives, my friends' lives, etc. I want to just urge everyone looking on to continue these social programs. These are the solutions to the many ills.
On this episode of Chill Spot, we'll be enjoying the thrill and excitement of the outdoors at Chukka Caribbean Adventure Tours as we get to know Dr. Kevin Henry, obstetrician and gynecologist. So don't go anywhere, the fun begins now. Kevin.
Kelly.
Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm fine.
This is my friend Che.
Hi, Che. Nice to meet you. So how was the drive down?
It was good. It was pretty long, but I mean, we're here, you know. So you have a new ride.
Yes, my Toyota Hilux. This is a fully loaded model, and on the drive down, it's like I didn't need anything else. It's the perfect vehicle, and it rides so nicely.
Oh, it looks really, really good.
Yeah, nice, smooth ride. Yeah, the color is nice in the red.
Yeah.
So, Chukka Tours.
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing today?
Well, it should be a fun day, you know, lots of adventure. We're going to be doing some zip lining, we're going to do the ATV tour.
Okay.
And then we'll just chill, have lunch, and relax.
Personally, I'm not excited about the zip line thing. Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be
Shit,
fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be so fast, and I can't.
No, man, it's going to be fun. First time doing it?
Well, it's actually my first time at Chukka. So I've ziplined before, but I've never ziplined here. This one is longer,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's a little bit more intense.
Gosh,
It's a little bit more
guys.
intense. Get
So,
that adrenaline rush.
let's start. Where are we going to start?
Let's go.
So Dane, talk to us about Chukka Tours and the history of the brand.
Chukka has been around for over 30 years. We started in Ocho Rios
Okay.
with our signature tour, which is a horseback ride and swim. But since then, Chukka had expanded its brands to 3 different Caribbean islands, and we have over 28 different tours here.
How many
Island.
properties do you have in Jamaica?
We have 9 properties in total in Jamaica, this being one of the largest here at Good Hope.
So what other tours, I mean, Kevin already mentioned that we're going to be doing zip lining and ATVing today, but what other tours can people do on this property?
There's an obstacle course where you can test your skills up there, the different types of elements. We have river tubing. We also have a horse and carriage ride for those persons who want to stay away from a lot of the thrill and just kind of relax.
Right.
And not to mention the dune buggy.
Well, the horse and carriage sounds perfect for me because I'm really not into the adrenaline thing at all and not excited about this zip lining thing, but I know it will be fun, right guys?
Of course it will be. So that's a good thing. We have something here for everyone.
So what about the future plans for this property? What do you guys have in store?
Caters for those persons that are looking for the thrill, those who want the cultural explorer, and those persons
like
who just
myself.
want to come here and relax at the pool, a leisure type of person.
Oh, there's a pool on property as well?
There is a pool on property.
Oh,
There's also a
fantastic.
nice bird aviary, so.
Oh, a bird aviary. Oh, interesting, interesting.
Now, for this property in particular, we are looking at expanding to include some of the historic buildings that are here, which would be on the other side of this property.
Okay.
So, there's a lot more to come, and as I said before, Chukka continues to grow and to please its customer out there based on their demand.
Okay, fantastic. Well, with no further ado, I think we should head inside and get this thing started.
Let's go.
Coming up.
It is really, really rewarding to be able to help people. Being in a position to bring somebody who is sick back to full health, it's something that I really love to do and that I enjoy.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
We are back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we pack down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com. Kevin, how was that zip line for you?
It was fun, you know. Are you so afraid of the thing, man?
I'm telling you, that's not for TV either, no, that's genuinely me. I don't like
that was really fun. That was really fun.
It really was. So we want to talk a little about your professional side.
Sure.
You're a practicing medical doctor.
I am.
And did you know that you always wanted to pursue medicine?
I think from an earlier age, I knew that I wanted to do something medically related. When I was growing up, I actually wanted to be a vet initially. And then somewhere along the line, that transitioned and changed into, you know, being a doctor. So when I was in high school, I decided, I think that this is what I want to do.
And are you specializing right now?
Yes, I am. I do obstetrics and gynecology.
So I understand that the process to become a doctor at UA is a long one. I know you guys have exams and residency. Explain to us how that all works.
Okay, so when you leave high school, right, having done the required usual science subjects, you start your medical career, your medical program at UA. That process is 5 years. After that, you'll graduate with your medical degree, which means you're a doctor now. Thereafter, you have to do 1 year internship where you work in the hospital, and then after that year, you now get your practicing certificate, so you're now licensed to go and practice and set up your own thing if you want to do your own thing.
Okay.
In order for you to do a specialty, like what I did in obstetrics and gynecology or any other specialty, you then have to do further studies, which is whilst you work. So it's not, you know, go back to school and stop everything. So you're working and getting training at the same time. And depending on what that specialty is, it can take from 4 to a million years.
I understand, it would take a longer time. So for your specialty, how long did it take?
It was 4.5 years.
And then you have a final exam at the end of all of that?
We have continuous assessment throughout. So we have exams while we go along through the program. And then at the end, we have one final exam. And then once you get through that, that's it, you're done.
So all of that takes 70 years?
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
you
you very
recently
much.
passed your exam.
Yes, I
so now you're officially
an obstetrician and gynecologist.
Okay, got it. So where are you currently practicing?
Well, I did my training at the University Hospital, so I'm continuing working there. And as well, I am now working privately at Gyne Associates.
And how has the experience at the University Hospital been for you?
It was a very fulfilling and rewarding experience. It was challenging at times, you know, especially with the workload and the patient demands. But overall, it was a humbling experience as well. You know, learned a lot in terms of my specialty and my field, and I'm happy now that with the training that I have, I can now go out and continue to work in the health sector, both publicly and privately. And overall, I really enjoyed it and I love what I do.
And what would you say is the best part or your favorite part about your job?
I know this is going to probably sound cliche, but really and truly, it is really, really rewarding to be able to help people, you know? Being in a position to bring somebody who is sick back to full health and, you know, in obstetrics, carrying a patient through the antenatal process, you know, baby and delivery and that type of thing. It's really fulfilling and rewarding. So to be able to do that on a day-to-day basis, and as I said, it's something that I really love to do and that I enjoy. So that's what I like.
what are the challenges now with practicing medicine here in Jamaica or with your day-to-day operation?
The challenges practicing medicine, I would say, for me, are in terms of time management, right? So when you have a lot of activities to do and you have other things to attend to in terms of family time and friends, and it can be demanding. Medicine itself is a very demanding field. I think that the issues that we're facing now in Jamaica in terms of the health sector itself, as well as the financial constraints of everybody, and people have no money to spend. But overall, I think that we are doing the best we can with the resources that we have, right? A lot of times it's a little bit difficult for patients to appreciate that. So when patients come to the hospital, they look at things like the wait time and how attentive the doctors are, how quickly they can get their results processed, and how they're treated at the hospital. Overall, we're trying to improve, so it just requires a lot more patience and dedication on both parts.
And are there any other professional engagements that you do besides being a doctor?
Well, yes. I own or co-own a small business which does medical supplies, and I also do events. Okay. So those are my two other main activities, business-wise.
So talk to me about your medical supplies company. What's the name of it?
Well, it's White Coat Medical Supplies. It has actually been in existence for about 8 years, but me and a colleague inherited it from another partner about 2 years ago. So what we do is supply medical equipment to medical students. Medical students meaning students doing medicine, nursing, physiotherapy, that kind of thing. So that's what we're doing right now. But we do have plans to expand to do other things in terms of general medical equipment.
So is the business partner Che, who I met earlier?
Yes, it's Che.
Okay, so how do you draw the line with doing business with friends?
Well, that is something that we had established from very, very early, right? And it's very tricky with friends because, you don't want to offend anybody or that type of thing, as you can imagine. But at the end of the day, it's a professional relationship. So you just have to understand that, friendship is friendship and business is business. So where there are important business decisions to be made, we have to put aside the friendship part of our interaction and look at it as a business, right? So we just try not to let emotions get involved and address it professionally, right? Because that is what drives the business.
How would you describe, though, the business of medicine here in Jamaica? Would you say it's easy to open a practice? Are we heading in the right direction business-wise?
I think that in general, we have a lot of talent in Jamaica. There are a lot of trained professionals, a lot of specialists that we are putting out every year, every 6 months, right? So there definitely isn't a shortage, I would say, of specialists. The problem or the barriers to setting up businesses in Jamaica in medicine would be resources. That's the main problem. Resources both on the end of the doctor and on the patient, right? So if it is that we don't have enough resources in general as a country to be able to offer patients standard of care all the time in terms of the best equipment and the best technology and that type of thing, that can pose problematic. And then patients themselves may have difficulties paying for the treatment, right? Both in the public sector and private sector. What we need is more investment. So more resources from the public affiliates, private affiliates, overseas, that type of thing, to make business more successful right now in the medical field.
What would you say drives you to succeed as a young professional?
I like to work hard. I like to get the job done. I like to be effective in whatever it is that I do. I think that I am a stickler for attention to detail. I like when things are done properly and timely. That's my main motivator, that's my main drive.
What's one tip that you'd give to other young professionals coming up?
Well, there are several tips, there are several keys to success, right? You have to work hard. You can't, there's no way you're going to be successful if you don't work hard. You have to be dedicated, and especially if it's your business versus you working for somebody, you have to be fully committed and fully dedicated. The second thing I would advise is that you can't give up, right? If you truly believe in it and you think it is something that makes sense and can work, you can't give up when, you know, things might not be going as well, or, you know, you come across some form of hurdle or obstacle, because those will come along, but you have to be committed and have the endurance to overcome that. The third thing I would say is to definitely take advice, right? Do your research, listen to persons that have done it before, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And four, just keep your passion alive and keep your drive and be business smart, right? Make sure whatever it is you're doing is something that makes sense, and you've done thorough planning and investigations and the proper research to make sure that whatever it is that you are doing will be profitable and successful for you.
Well, now that we've gotten the zip lining out of the way, we're going to be doing
ATV riding.
Okay, well, I've never done this before.
Really, really fun. Huh? You will see.
Hectic.
You will see.
Oh gosh.
You will see.
All right. Well,
let's go.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
Coming up.
Do you want more experience from your SUV? Introducing the 2020 Nissan X-Trail with leading-edge technology, intelligent ride and chassis control, a round view monitor, and hill start assist for confidence behind the wheel, plus auto headlights and panoramic sunroof. Drive the SUV with more experience. The Nissan X-Trail, available today at Fidelity Motors.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Disc brake control all four wheels of the bike.
Okay.
It also uses a parking brake. See? Secondly, this is a gas right here. This is what keeps the units going.
What?
Yes. It's not like one of the room type.
Okay.
When you come like this,
Alright.
it's not gonna move.
No room. Okay.
Yeah. The thumb
So
shocker.
that's how we get.
Yeah,
Alright, that's how we get.
Push it, the faster the bike gonna go. P is for park, R is for reverse, N is for neutral, L is for low gear, and H is for high gear.
Okay.
So once I place in high gear like that for you,
That's it.
stays in high gear.
Okay.
All right, Kevin, so I want to talk about your personal life, so to speak.
Interesting, okay.
Let's start with your childhood.
Okay.
How were you raised?
Well, I was raised in a nuclear family, right? Both of my parents, and I grew up with my parents, and I have a younger brother.
Okay.
Happy family, you know.
Normal.
Normal family.
What schools did you go to?
I went to Stella Maris Prep. Then I went to the best high school, Campion College.
I mean, others would beg to
Non-debatable,
differ.
non-debatable. Right? After that, I went to UWI.
You're not from here, I hear an
I'm
accent.
from Trinidad actually, yes.
Oh, okay.
I came and we started med school. He was 1 year ahead of me, started in 2004.
Okay.
Stop giving away the age, bro.
We've been friends for...
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years.
Right. So, Kevin, are you dating right now?
I am. I do have a girlfriend.
Tell us a little about her.
Well, we've been together for a number of years now. Loving, caring, wonderful person. She's also a young business entrepreneur.
Okay.
So that's something that I really admire about her. And I guess, you know, we bounce ideas off each other with respect to that.
So, any plans for the future where that's concerned? Hint, hint,
Well,
hint.
we'll see. But, you know, definitely at some point in the future, I do want to get married. I do want to have children,
Hold
start my
on.
own family.
Che, do you see him walking down the aisle?
Kevin's a good guy. I can see it, I can see it.
In time, man. In time. In time. Everything in time.
So what are your other interests? What are the things that you do for fun now that you have so many things going on with your professional life?
Well, for fun, I do events, right?
Okay.
Which is also business as well, but that's really fun for me.
Okay.
In addition to that, watch TV. I love football, so I watch a lot of football. I love hanging out with my friends. I love to joke, right? those persons that are close to me will know that that's me. I'm forever being a comedian,
Right.
so
Jovial.
that's what I love to do. And I like this type of stuff, outdoor
Right.
activities, adventure stuff. So that's what I do for fun.
Kevin, what's one thing that we'd never guess about? You know what, let me ask Che this question. Che, what's one thing that persons would never guess about Kevin?
Well, no, I can't say that. He actually stopped drinking
I think we
alcohol.
want the juicy stuff, you know.
No.
He stopped drinking alcohol about 6 years ago.
So you don't drink at all?
Kind of stopped, but yeah.
Just
I had to,
socially?
I had to.
What is that, some kind of medical reason?
Yeah, kind of, but it was tough, but yeah.
And
I guess a lot of people would know about that.
You host parties, so this is a part of the lifestyle and you don't drink.
So you can imagine it's very
tricky.
It's tricky, you know?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am
So Kendi, what do you think about my chill spot?
To be frank with you, this property is a lot more elaborate than I thought it was initially. I literally thought Choco just had the tours without these like actual spots to chill and hang out. And it's been a lovely day, really fun, a nice mix of fun and adventure and some relaxation.
So you come back again then?
Of course, definitely, in a heartbeat. I wouldn't zip line again though. Thank you so much for bringing us to Choco. It was an amazing day. I
No
really had a
problem,
good time.
anytime.
So thank you very much.
No problem.
At Choco, it's always time to play, and today we most certainly did that whilst getting to know the dynamic Dr. Kevin Henry. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and until next time, I'm Candy for Chill Spot. Bye.
It's a little bit more intense.
All right,
Get
so
that adrenaline rush.
let's start. Where are we gonna start?
Let's go.
Let's just walk out of the shop. I don't know where we're walking to.
So Kendi, what do you think about my chill spot?
Some food just for my mouth.
So what? One more
Food fell out
time.
my mouth, sorry. Let's get it. Hey!
Who we missed?
I missed. On the front one.
Yo, please don't put that on.
I place in high gear like that for you.
That's it.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, man?
Alright.
Yeah, man.
Not the one. Me and the Tory.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV. It goes by many names: marijuana, ganja, cannabis, or kush, just to name a few. But whatever you call it, people will immediately know what plant you speak of.
One step in, I don't.
The Good Life this week takes you to the Stepping High Ganja Festival in Negril.
You know that Jamaica have a very long history of ganja, long before what people actually popularized today. You know, for example, people argue that ganja came across with Indians and came over as indentured laborers. See? So hence the word of indica and ganja from river Ganges. However, ganja has always been here, so you have to use a different kind of lens. Meaning now, if you review work by like Van Sertima, they came before Columbus. People always coming to the Caribbean long before Columbus, and Jamaica was always a central space. It is a very important navigational space today. And from pirate times, it was also a very important navigational space. That's why we have the first navigational school in Jamaica by the Caribbean Maritime Institute. Now, what's the point I'm making there? The point I'm making is because ganja was such a trading thing across the world. Across the world. And however, it became more recognizable and popular when people started to come here as enslaved persons and also as indentured laborers, because both of those persons were actually using the plant. So there's always an integration with herb and agriculture. But over time, as they start to make herb become more criminal, which means that the state started to lock up people more than the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, you know, the whole thing, it kind of shift. You know, so you find out that while we were still planting herb, we know if we practice some integrated farming, not because we just know that integrated farming is what you should do. We have the integrated farming for hide the herb. So I would have plant herb and I plant gungo peas or I plant okra on it, because if you look from overhead and the herb that the gungo peas and the okra, it don't look so obvious. Now the ganja farmer is the only man in Jamaica who was practicing those things, you know. By what? Out of necessity. So as Rastafari start to use more herb, you have more fight taking place against the herb. So it is a thing where the history has been whereby the farmer structure is anti-herb, not because they're anti-plant, but because they're anti-mindset. But because Rastafari use a lot of herb now, and herb stimulate certain parts of your brain, and people know that your body is designed with what we call an endocannabinoid system, you know. from your head to your toe. And the parts of your body that have the most of those receptors is what your liver and your brain, especially when part of the Rhineland suffers and the ancient part of your brain and the central part of your brain as well, the part that deal with this feel-good, esoteric kind of vibes and things, you know what I mean? And that is what drives and supports a lot of the way Rastafari people think. Hence the concept of being airy and the concept of being of one love and being with nature and all those things. That is not the Rasta people alone. The same ancient Indian people who use herb, they don't do the same thing. The people who are Essenes, from which them say Yahusha come from, is the Jesus story. They are herb people. So them say them anoint him head with oil. Him 7th chakra, him crown chakra. It's herb them use, not olive oil them use, it's ganja oil them use. See? All these stories that people hear, ganja oil was a very important part of those processes for health and wellness and healing. So it's like it's just something where Rasta people come up with, like you have what you call a Columbus syndrome, you discover things that already exist. No. The thing is that the Rastafari, we are weighing to this consciousness of this plant and uses it. And then using it also are weighing other people. It's like you unlock your chakras or your DNA, so people start to remember these things and start to use the plant and actually feel a particular way about it. One of the first functions of ganja is to build your immune system against ultraviolet rays. So it means then that ganja is one of the plants that you use to do what? Prevent most of the cancers, if not all of the cancers. So all the research has shown that ganja is good for cancer fighting its functions, such as THC. And they ask yourself, what is the leading killer of people in the world today? It's stress. Herb is a plant, THC in particular. It removes stress. It transforms energy from one negative way into an next positive. That's what it's about. It's not no new energy. You shift, you focus, and start to see things in a very different kind of way. So you don't see no problem in them. You see, needs that are unsolved, which means that there are opportunities to solve those needs by doing that, providing a good service. So the lens through which you see things becomes different. And unfortunately, within our own system, we have this big opportunity. But the lens through which we see it is the same old colonial lens. CDB is used to treat things that do with psychosis. That research came out of England. Yes? That's why there's a great demand for CDB herb in Europe, because the leading killer of people in Europe and America is now what? Dementia-related illnesses. Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. That's why they want CDB and not THC. You have CBN, which is to stimulate appetite. So people who have cancers and all of these other issues and eating disorders will want the CBN. But it's also good for all their olfactory senses, you know. Ears, nose, and throat. So everything you do with your lung, everything you do with your ears, everything in the nose and your throat, because it what? It opens up a thing. The plant itself, in terms of the seed, have two of the most important fatty acids for your brain, which is called linoleic and linoleic, in the 1:3 ratio, the exact ratio in your brain. The only other plant that comes close to that is linseed, which has now 1:4 ratio. Most of these problems that people have, the plant is good for it. Ask them which other plant your body is designed to use. You just ask them, which other plant your body developed themselves 50 million years ago. All beings on the earth develop an endocannabinoid system. Not man alone. Dog, puss, rat, bird, everything. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to really see what the research is saying. We have to see what the research is saying. It's good for everything. But you know, you don't rate to own people's brain now. Especially the people who are going to say mad people like Rasta. Or the Rasta by say, okay, herb is the healing of the nation, or herb is this. Or Tosh sing about it as a bush doctor and say, boy, it's good for this, and lawyers smoke it. Remember too, you know? Many places people use herb, and we don't just use ganja. We use different kind of herb. And this is part of the problem, because when them started to fight ganja, technically them start to fight every kind of natural consumption of other herbs as well. So man, have a headache, I don't want no rosemary, I don't want no almond leaf, because it's herbs, and you don't know how much you're going to take and suppose it poison you. And you take a Fenzik, you know. And then give everybody the same prescription, 2 Fenzik, but yes, all their structure different. So the same 2 Fenzik for solve every problem for everybody. You have something in your stomach you want to clear out, you don't take no verba, no dog blood. You can take a leaf. And then them announce by the TV, some have a call him back a leaf, because kill off beer people are foreign. Foolishness.
Don't go anywhere. The Good Life will be right back.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to The Good Life, where we are exploring the benefits of ganja with Dr. Kadamawe Knife. He shares his knowledge based on extensive research on the plant and some of his opinions on Jamaica's response to the growing worldwide use of ganja.
We now learn that there's a high demand for CBD plants in the world, which is in the Euro-American world. And what we know is that we're focusing so much on that technically we start to make the part that we have the advantage in almost criminal. If you have a lot of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's in Europe, they want CBD in the herb. Now, if you understand the ganja plant, CBD is naturally, it don't occur in plants in a naturally high amount, but it's still an amount that can treat some of those things. What they're doing now is to take the plant into the lab to create a plant that have high levels of CBD and low levels of THC. It is the first concern that we have with those kind of herbs and things. Nonetheless, I am saying if the plant itself can produce pharmaceutical products that can treat those things, well, they can do it. However, know that they must make concurrently. But the thing that not naturally having in the country, but the thing that you try to promote. Jamaica is known internationally for what? Pharmaceuticals? No. We're known internationally for being a wellness space. So, if you ask a man, tell me some Jamaican word. All of the word relate to feeling good about yourself. Some man are going to say irie, he might say love. He might say all of these things. Because the country is known for wellness. And we'll see where it come from. See, now if you listen to Ed Bartlett test, when they do the assessment of what words trigger people to come to Jamaica. Love, food, and music. And cancer, ganja tree, my minister. So we're not using that opportunity and so we have a win-win scenario where everybody can benefit, whether you are a foreign direct investor or a local person. See, at a macro or a micro level, we turn it into what we call a zero-sum game, which means that if some people are going to win, like the pharmaceutical people, it means that the people who do the things organically are going to lose. And that don't make no sense.
When it's green, you squeeze the juice from it, it's the best for eye. It's kill all cataract and everything.
Now, I argue that we need to standardize and regularize. It is much more difficult to standardize and regularize things for the pharmaceutical industry than it is for the food industry. And SRC and the Bureau of Standards are some master industries, some master institutions that can help us to standardize these things. See? So when we hear them argue about edibles, I know edibles is this and edibles is that. It shows you how almost backward the people can be. THC is amplified by heat. So therefore, if you cook herb, it magnifies the amount of THC that's within that thing that you eat. So what does that mean? Does that mean that there's a problem in using herb in the plant, in the food? No. It means then we can get a lot more from the same herb than we actually do now. When I say shift focus, when I say broaden your focus and don't be myopic in what you're doing, don't be a copybugger. And the bigger part of the industry is the wellness part, it's not the pharmaceutical part. That is why we talk about functional food. We're not talking about nutraceuticals alone. Because they still want to make nutraceuticals sound like it's pharmaceuticals. It's like nutraceuticals is taking the active out of a plant, whether it be ganja, ginger, whatever. Functional food is using the actives in things for consumption. Which means then, I can make, and I like to use this example, I can make a chocolate from Highgate, which is a nice brand chocolate, and infuse it with something like a CBN, which is an active in ganja plant. See? Or THC, CBN because it stimulates appetite. So I target people who knows they need to eat food but want something nice to take. Now, I want to eat that chocolate kind, really tastes good, but when you eat it now, that make you want to eat other food as well. So, again, you have to take a regular tablet. Or use THC with things like rosemary and almond leaf as what? Just as what people buy St. John's wort to reduce stress. We use it that way there. Remove all of your stress. You can put it in anything. I can use the same starting from the ganja plant and make incense and create incense. And what is the beauty about this? You can do this at all 3 levels. It's the only plant you can do it at 3 levels now. And Jamaica, you can do it at the community level in terms of branding, the parish level, as well as the national level. Because if you understand ganja in Jamaica, people argue that Sunny Hill in St. Thomas is a place that plant good herb. But a man takes a Green Hill and Orange Hill plant good herb. A man takes a Bull Savannah plant good herb. Or Lucky Valley in St. Andrew plant good herb. Or the best herb usually plant in St. Andrew in the 1980s. So what I tell you? At different points in time, people say the best herb plant in different places in Jamaica, which means that the best herb plant in Jamaica, there's a people that think we can plant the best herb anywhere in Jamaica. Now, can you imagine the amount of branding that you can take away, that you can use across the island? You have to realize what opportunities are. I'm not fighting a pharmaceutical now, but I tell you, look at what we can do with branding. Man is the only animal that cook food and eat. Rastafari is free meditation. Every man have a right to decide their own destiny, man. The person who you can tell how to live is yourself. See? So I say, I don't want no food by the fire. Some don't do it. Rastafari says life. And so we find out when you put fire upon the food, you take out some of the life out of it. So you want to get the full life by food, eat it without putting fire upon it. But you still can't tell a man how to live, you know. So I'm going to tell you, watch you know, you stop eating cook food. You still have to work, and the ganja is one of the best things to eat. So with I know, it's sativa herb I promote. 6 to 9 months, ital herb. See, I'm going to take it serious because remember, the whole of my ample design for use herb, you know. So it means that you must put the best thing inside your system. So a long time herb, the rest of the plant is the best herb to use. All these things that them come up with, no, it's just like some of the food now. See, so a long time people usually eat free-range chicken. We take long and you put a nail in the pot and cook him. You don't want that now, you want a chicken, which is a baby chicken. We take 6 weeks, I end up with arsenic and all kinds of things, give people fibroids. The same with the herb. Them don't want a 6 to 9 month herb, so they start grow some short day herb, some short breed herb. 8 weeks. Where the man have to alter the seed to increase the amount of THC. Why? Because THC is stimulated by sunlight. So the longer the exposure of the plant in the sunlight is the more THC. So if you want to get the same amount of THC in a shorter period of time, what you have to do? Change the structure of the plant. So indica is not the area plant to use, as far as I'm concerned. If you understand plant science, plants work in a holistic way. When you start to take on separate plants, it becomes less effective. When you steam the herb now, it goes into your lung directly, which means then, when your blood is passing through that vein, that is passes through your lung and it's being oxygenated, it takes up the herb immediately. So it's the fastest way of getting herb inside your system, you know. It's not an injection, because when you get an injection, it don't go in your vein directly, you know. It goes on your skin and tries to find its way into your vein. So the most effective way of getting herb into your system quickly, and another way that is at the least amount of carbon, as far as I am concerned, is through steaming. But the argument about smoking herb can cure a problem. No man, that's just something which is just false information. THC actually builds back the wall of your lung and repair the wall of your lung. So the concern about smoking can't that you're going to get sick from smoking herbs. Just that the concern you say, okay, you don't want to put no more carbon inside of your system, which you don't need to. And so I ask people if you smoke a spliff every day, see? And how much spliff a day you smoke? I'm going to say 2 spliff or 3 spliff a day. But that's 365 times 2. That's almost 700 piece of paper you smoke for the year. So you really don't need to be smoking no paper. But you know some people make hemp, Rizla. So all those things are there. Now, some say the carbon might be the concern. My other concern about smoking is that it is not economical. Because when you go and light a spliff or light a chalice, most of the herb gone in the ear and less gone inside of you. So we don't smoke no herb, we just steam the herb. See, and there's not no magic we are doing, you know. A long time people do that, man. It's like when you bake pudding and put the fire up on top of it. See? So you have something that separates the fire from the herb. And when you pull it, the heat from it passes through the herb. It cools under the water and condenses. It's aromatherapy. You can use it with any plant you want. Now, that is more efficient. There's almost zero carbon because anything that comes through is captured in the water. This is what a long time bingy man them usually do. Now, when you eat herb, it goes on your digestive system and takes a longer time to start to break down, but it stays longer in your system now. Because it starts to release more slowly. That's why when people cook herb and it's in your gut for a long while and it release slowly, so you feel that kind of feeling for a much longer period of time. You know, say a man who smoke herb don't like smoke herb in a public space. Him like going down space, him have him create him own space. And naturally we know that. We don't want no cigarette smoking, we don't want no jerk pan smoking, we don't want no car smoking, and we don't want no herb smoking in no public space. Because people respond different to those things and things still, see? So, we don't want no designated smoking area either. Yeah, we don't want that. I mean, because we have them say that say, if you think that smoking is bad, why you designate place for them go smoke? You've been a hypocrite. Go find somewhere by yourself. Go smoke if you want. Don't create a nuisance for people and things still. You see it? In a private space, you do what you want to do.
Don't go anywhere. The Good Life will be right back. Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters. Call us at 876-618-2870 or email us at sales@batvja.com. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we back down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back to The Good Life. We wrap things up with Dr. Kadamawe Knife as he shares his concerns with the current state of the industry and gives his final thoughts on what he believes could promote and grow the industry in Jamaica and by extension, the Caribbean.
And I will argue that imported bad food and lifestyle practices kill more people in Jamaica than gunshot. Less than 3,000 people dead last year from gunshot. And in 2016, more than 15,000 people dead from diabetes alone. 15,000 people, I mean, not talk high blood pressure and heart disease yet. I mean, there's no big strategy as to how we are going to halt that. But do appreciate some years, some of the things I say, boy, drink more water and less sugar, because So I see them talk some things. But I say, you saw there was a big strategy to fight crime and lack of people. But there's no big strategy now to fight down the crime and now we are killing people, which is through food. Now the point we're making though is that if we start to do ganja as agriculture and use it as a catalyst, we start getting people starting with ganja with health and wellness and agriculture that kind of way, you start to address not only economic issues but health issues as well. Because if you are plant food and not plant clean food, the people must get less sick. Must. We should say, okay, our focus on building out what we have, which is and them disrespectful, I call it recreational. We have the wellness part of the industry, in the ganja industry. And we're going to expand it to facilitate the pharmaceutical component. So those who want to do the pharmaceuticals can deal with it, but we are going to focus our money and energy on the wellness component. So you're trying to take a lead in an area that you can't lead in, while neglecting the area that you already lead in. I'm telling you, any guy who come to this space will have a strong right as a bonus spliff. Right, that's how the same cool breeze we are distributing interview with. It's a one of the best experience. So burn a spliff and then go buy food from the people might eat. I tell you, I'm going to tell him grandpa about that story, you know. Say about telling grandpa to take a ganja tablet. Say that a story There's medication they're taking, man. Enough name out there here. Them like to categorize them as skunk and kush. We have all 20 different skunk names or 20 different kush names. What we want to grow is a particular strain of herb, which is a sativa. So you have the broad categories of sativa and indica. We are promoting sativa herb, the 6 to 9 months herb. Ital, that means you don't put anything that come from animal, it's plant alone grow it. That's how to promote it. See? Now, Jamaica should have things like them called goat shit and lamb's bread and all different kind of herbs that are sativa herb as well, thyme herb. But those were destroyed in the 70s. Some seeds still exist, so we focus on getting those seeds. Now, nowadays, you have all kind of skunk herb because the license itself is prohibitive and shows that they don't really understand what they want to move. Because the licensing process is required because they're doing pharmaceutical ganja. I've been doing pharmaceutical ganja because of the regulations for production. You have to get all of these things in place. So that is for one section of the economy. Now the part that we're speaking about the wellness doesn't require those things. So we'll argue. That's how we have a man with a bar who says that he might get the license at whatever. The same thing I do with the herb people who are involved in these kind of things at the community level. But I think it's important to regularize it. Someone, the man within the community knows him have the best herbs that sell. I put them in jar and him, you know, make it iron and official. But the while like it's a hide thing at and then it's a hustling. No. Make people know it's free for you so you can do it properly, man. Because you know, Jamaican people like to present them things properly to you know. So don't make it look like it's a gym screechy thing. Give them the same kind of freedom. But say what you know, you have to have them standard there, you know. You can't sell the herb in a plastic bag because the herb eat up in the plastic bag, put in a glass jars. And put in a dark glass jar because it make the herb stay long and you know, show them how to do it properly and things. Now when you check it now, $10,000 for your distribution of what? 10,000 US, you know, not 10,000 Jamaican. The prices are not even quoted in Jamaica, they're quoted in US, so it's can't be your target. So there's a different kind of thinking surrounding that component. And that's what I'm talking about the dual space. You have to have your pharmaceutical space, you put those restrictions here. But the wellness part that relates to Jamaica, you don't put those restrictions, but you put standards and quality control. So who knows if you have an edible, we know the Bureau of Standard passes and SRC help you the formulation and you know say alright you have the right amount of things inside there. Get rather the strength now for coming through the marketing and them home economics thing, for come show them how to do the thing using the standards. You know? Make it happen properly. Herb, like we call high altitude and long exposure to sunlight. Jamaica, we have 10 hours of sunlight, we have high altitude with a volcanic space. Remember, we call it volcanic because it means they have a lot more minerals in our earth than places that are not volcanic. Because when you have volcano, we do carry precious minerals from the core come up to the surface. So it's just good earth we have now. We have enough gold and diamond in Jamaica, enough crystals because we're volcanic. It means then that because we have the high altitude and long exposure, our ganja, once it is exposed to the sun, it's going to be much, much better. But across the Caribbean, while they might not be like Jamaica, but you have places that can do similar things. St. Lucia, which is mountainous. Dominica, which is mountainous. Haiti, which was mountainous, would have been good places to plant. Perfect highs of THC. Montserrat might be good to plant. Definitely good to plant herb with high THC because it's also mountainous and also have good exposure to sunlight. Barbados, Cayman, Antigua, which are flat places, might be better to actually plant herb to get seed as food or forget fiber. Now they could have plant hemp though, you know. That's what I mean because them flats of them THC level not gonna be too high. A place like Guyana, Belize, Suriname can look at planting the industrial plant which is hemp. So the mountainous places plant the female and the flat places plant the semi-male female and the mainland places plant the male which is the hemp. So the region itself can control the entire value chain of the industry from both male and female. The Caribbean. Well, remember that Jamaica is in the Caribbean, because Jamaica is the only real Caribbean country. You know? We're at the center of the Caribbean, there's a certain level of magnetism in the earth, and the earth is electrical and magnetic, it's bioelectrical and magnetic. So you can't underplay the importance of those magnetic currents that surround the earth with all those things happening and things. So you see, I'm not only ganja alone, I mean all our food. The food levels, the taste, it's like it accentuates. And you know, the research that actually showed that Jamaica have higher levels of heavy metal in them earth though, which was a concern. But we realized that when we put in the water, the heavy metal dissipate. This is not a problem anymore. So remember, this is a good life now. It's important for people know that you only have one life to live. See? So you have to live healthy. Do the thing that you know is right. Be serious about it, man. Live well and live the good life, you know?
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand